行ったですね、討論会、スピーチでは歴史教育について、安倍政権を支持すると、でそれを、東京でも遂行していくというふうにおっしゃったんですが、具体的にはどのように、お考えなのか、どのように東京都として歴史教育を行っていくのか教えてください。
I am Mia from the Japan Times. I have two questions. First of all, as was pointed out by the MC, according to the internet polls, you rank very highly. You have great popularity. Those results differ significantly from the polls that we see that are run by newspapers. Can you tell us how you analyze this difference? What do you think the reasons for your popularity in the internet is? And the second question has to do with the fact that yesterday, when you gave a speech in Ginza, you touched upon the topic of education about history, and that you supported Prime Minister Abe's approach to historical education in Japan, and that you would like to implement or bring in some of these ideas into education in Tokyo as well. Could you be more specific? How exactly would you see or change or deal with how history is taught in Tokyo schools?
ネットでの人気は私がダントツ一番なんですけどもですね、他の追随を許さないぐらいだけれども、私には組織票というのがないんですよね。他のお三方には自民党がついたり民主党がついたり、あるいは共産党社民党がついたりしてるわけですけども、多分カウントできないんですよね。日本もネット選挙解禁になってまだ間がありませんので、その辺がマスコミの方々がどう読んでるのか私はよく分かりませんけども、あと少しは田母神をできれば通したくないというマスコミの風潮があるんじゃないですかね、おそらく。それが原因で離れてるんではないかというふうに思います。それから2番目のこの、安倍政権がですね、安倍政権と一番親和性があるのは多分私だと思うんですよね。自民党もですね、松戸屋さんを支持するのは安倍総理も相当苦しいんだと思う。内心はですね、本当は田母神さんに通ってもらいたいと思ってるんじゃないかと私は思ってますけどもですね、そういうことで、安倍政権とこの同じ歴史教育はですね、国家間歴史観、日本はそんなに悪い国じゃなかったですよと、よその国と比べて日本がそんなに悪い国だったですかっていうと、私はそうは思わないし、安倍さんも当然そうは思っていないと思うんですね。だから今まで日本はどういう歴史を教えてきたかというとですね、戦勝国の歴史を教えてきたんですよね。歴史は誰が作るか、戦勝国が作るんです。戦争に勝ったアメリカが一時日本の歴史を作り変えるわけですよ。だけど独立をしたらどこかの時点で我々日本国民が考える誇りある歴史を取り戻さなければですね、国家はやがて衰退をすると私は思います。だから安倍総理のこの靖国参拝を含めですね、日本がこの諸外国と比べてそんなに日本が悪い国ではなかったし、その日本だけが悪く言われる筋合いもないという日本の素晴らしいところを、中国と同じように自分の国のいいところだけ教えていけばいいんじゃないですかね。
First of all, in regard to the results of the internet polls, actually, it's not that I'm very popular. I am incredibly popular. None of the other candidates even come close to my rankings in the internet polls. But the reason, perhaps, that there are different results when you look at the newspaper polls is because, first of all, I do not have any large organizations, political parties supporting me. The other three major candidates are backed by the LDP, the DPJ, the Japanese Communist Party, or the Social Democratic Party. Of course, it's very, very difficult also to do an accurate counting of the internet polls, partly because the use of the internet for elections during election campaigns has only recently been approved. I think there might also be a tendency among the major Japanese media to not want Tamagami to win, and maybe that is starting to affect some of the newspaper-run polls. In regard to the second question about the Abe administration, I would like to point out that probably my policies are the closest or have the highest affinity to the Abe administration's policies. In fact, although the LDP has officially declared their support for Mr. Masazoe, I think in their heart of hearts that is a very, very difficult decision for them, and they're actually suffering as a result. I think they would really honestly want to support me openly. And the reason for this is that in regard to how we view history, how we view the nation, I believe that fundamentally, I think we share the same idea, which is that Japan is not such a terrible or demonic country. Compared to other nations of the world, is Japan somehow uniquely horrible or terrible or demonic? I think both I and Prime Minister Abe feel that the answer is no. So this leads to the question, why is there this idea that Japan is somehow unique among the nations of the world as in being just a horrible country? And I think it is because there was the view of history that was painted by the victorious nations. This is something that happens in history and is something that perhaps is unavoidable. But over time, as a nation regains its independence and eventually becomes able to stand again on its own 2 feet, then it must at some point be able to regain a sense of confidence and pride in one's own nation. Otherwise, that nation is doomed to disappear and fade. I think, therefore, this is why Prime Minister Abe has taken the actions that he has. For example, as visiting the Yasukuni Shrine, he wants to convey his idea that Japan is not somehow uniquely horrible as a nation, and that there is no justification for this view that Japan alone of the nations of the world is somehow horrible and terrible. Perhaps in regard to education, historical education in Japan, we should follow the leadership of China and teach that our country is surpassing all other nations.